Shalom, family. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Well, we're going to talk about, I guess this is just going to be an ongoing thing where our people for the next 4 years are going to have to just repeat over and over we're not going out to the streets. I think people just don't want to believe it. They don't want to believe that we're not coming out to save the day. We're not going to come out in the streets to be a human shield. We're not going to take the brunt of the abuse from ICE like they're taking now. They're really taking it. I mean, I see them just, and they don't care how rough they are with the white women either. I have seen them do some really crazy things that I never thought they would do to a white person. But when it comes down to ICE, they don't care. They don't care. I watched them knock around an old white woman. And then there was one that was kind of heavy set a couple of months ago. When I say they slammed this woman down to the ground, I mean they slammed her hard. I felt it. It was hard. And of course, she got up crying, and everything, and they arrested her. But I have never seen them handle them like that. But you are seeing that more and more now. And I think the problem is they don't like, because, you got all these alt right people in ICE, and they look at those folks out in the street as traitors. So, that being said, they don't care how horrible they are to them. That's why they did what they did to Renee Good, you know? And hey, this is we have told y'all this is your time to be out in the streets fighting. Our time is sitting on the couch and chilling out. Now, you do have some in our community that don't want to believe that we should, be just resting. We need to get off our butts and start raising our voices. I don't agree with that. We have been the biggest protesters in this country since its inception. Nobody has protested bigger than us. And nobody has protested as long as us. We have been protesting probably for centuries now. We have been out in these streets protesting. And no matter what y'all get on here and say, it's just not going to change our minds. The majority of us are not going out there. And those few people that are hard headed and they want to get out there, you're on your own. You're on your own. And when things happen, I just hope that you can legally and physically fight this system all by yourself. So you want to go out there, go on out there. Make sure you got plenty of money in your bank account for lawyers and everything that you're going to need, but looking for the support, I don't think you're going to get it, especially after people have been saying now for months to stay out of the streets. In fact, over a year, people have been saying stay out of the streets. So I guess you go out there at your own risk. So let me go ahead and share my screen because you're going to hear people still reacting because folks just don't want to accept that they won't see us out in these streets. They don't want to accept it, y'all. They don't want to accept it. Please give me a 1 if you can see my screen. Thank you.
Black folks, just the blacks. No disrespect. Come on in, sit on down. Let's talk. If you haven't seen it, realized it yet, the attacks on Don Lemon, I believe please forgive me, I can't remember the other reporter's name. Those who have been community organizers, all from the Black community that they've arrested. Now it's some sort of talks and lies about President Obama and everything he's done. Listen, this is a ploy to try to get us to march. They want us to protest. They want us on the front lines so bad because they want a reason to start some sort of civil war. I see it. I feel it. Clearly, that's what's happening. Do not do it. Do not engage. I never thought that I would be saying nonviolent, nonviolent, but that's really where we are. Nobody is saying that you should not protect yourself at all. But we're also not going to the front lines. We've been there before. This is not that time. All right. We're at the front lines in the voting. We are all, especially Black women. We're always ready to take up the charge and fight. This is a different type of fight. This is a fight for your mind. This is a fight for your stability. This is a fight for your peace. Do not engage, and please do not go out and be on the front lines to protest. God bless that man who tried to uh pull back the MAGA protester. We're not here to save nobody today, okay? Go and focus on your loved ones. Give prayers to the world because your prayers are that important. And maybe that's the other issue. Maybe you don't realize the importance of prayer, of lifting someone up in prayer, of saying, you know what, I'm sending you healing energy. And I pray that that is enough for my part right now, because that's all I got. I asked God, is there anything else we should be doing right now? The answer is no, because there's a lot of stuff that's going to happen spiritually that is going to be reflected in the way people move and what happens politically in our country and in this world. But right now, just focus on you, focus on your loved ones, focus on being better from the inside out. And that will change the world. But right now, on this timeline in this season, we ain't marching. Y'all have a good one.
How has illegal immigration impacted the Black community specifically?
Well, African Americans have finally decided find somebody else to do it. That's why they're not protesting. Okay. They finally decided that they are not going to be anyone's pawn in these.
And that's coming from a first generation immigrant.
Political games anymore in this political theater, the political theatrics. They're not going to be bothered. They're going to be at work or at home or, creating. And that's that. And I'm very happy because where's the money? Where are the billions of dollars that were stolen? Okay. Because guess what? The people who work hard.
So she kind of answered, she didn't really answer the question, right? The question was, how has immigration affected the Black community? It's affected the Black community in a multitude of ways. Jobs, housing, the schools are changing because kids don't speak English anymore. So that's just a couple of ways on how it impacts Black Americans first, because when the immigrants come here, they come to our neighborhoods first.
And pay taxes, they have a right to know. Like, there's no more distracting people. Everyone is smarter than that. And I think that's where African American.
Not only that, we pay taxes, right? So when the Democratic government don't want to tell the people who pay them where's the money is going, where it's being placed, and who the money is helping, we have a problem with that. And Black Americans have figured out that, yeah, all the taxes that we pay don't help us. They help other groups of people who don't even really like us. Let's make that clear.
Americans stand right now is that they're not going to keep on speaking for people who every time they get in office, they completely forget about them, and they just use them, every 4 years. Find somebody else to do it.
How has illegal immigration
A lot of people got mad at me when I said this is not Black people's fight and that we're on a couch for a reason. And I just want to remind you guys of something. This is a projection of the 2024 presidential election exit polls. And when I say this is not Black people's fight, I say that because 85% of Black people voted for this not to happen. And when you look at all the other races, you can tell that there's a significant amount of votes that could have stopped this from happening. When I said that y'all wasn't out there fighting for us, I'm not talking about the 41% of YT people. I'm not talking about the 52% of Hispanic Latino, the 54% of Asian, the 42% of POCs. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about the 57% of YT people that voted for this and the 2% of YTs that voted for somebody completely else. I'm talking about the 46% of Hispanic Latino people that voted for this. 46%, that's dang near 1 in every 2 Hispanics who voted for this. I'm talking about the 39% of Asians. That is a significant amount for this projection. This other is POCs. And this is what gets me is that y'all lump Black people and POCs together. No, we are not together. 54% of POCs voted for this. 54%, that is literally 1 in every 2 POC who voted for that. And don't get me wrong, there's not words created to show how bad I feel about everything that's going on right now. And even though I'm saying this is not our fight, I'm still doing everything I can to show the injustices of what's going on right now. But to say that there aren't enough Black people out there protesting right now is absurd to me because we've been fighting. We've been trying to tell you guys about the injustices of what's going on, and you guys are just now seeing it. So yeah, I still stand on what I said, that Black people need to be on the couch and this is not our fight. But let me know what you guys think. I'll see you in the next one.
I wish y'all stop getting on here asking where Black people at. Where are the Black people? Why they not protesting? Where were y'all at? When we needed y'all to show up to the polls and vote, where were y'all? This is something y'all knew was gonna happen. So I don't understand why y'all keep asking where the Black people are. We're at home, moisturized and unbothered. Do I think what's happening is wrong? Absolutely. I think it's inhumane. I wish it was stopped. But where's y'all accountability? Because this is what y'all voted for. Everybody told y'all this was gonna happen. Y'all didn't want to vote for Kamala because y'all said y'all wasn't voting for her. She was a democratic, and just because she a Black woman, she don't know, she unqualified. And look what we got. A toddler on the tiring. So y'all go out and y'all protest and y'all march and y'all do what y'all can, but stop asking where the Black people at. Because where were y'all when we went to vote? We was asking y'all to vote like y'all lives depended on it. Ours included. Did y'all? Absolutely not. So hang that up. Flat screen.
I need y'all to make this video blow up, and I'm gonna say this on Black History Month, where it just drives the point home. Black people not protesting in the streets, especially Black Americans not protesting in the streets, is literally saving y'all lives. I repeat, Black people, especially Black Americans, not protesting in the streets is saving y'all asses. And I'll tell you why. If Black people are in the front lines of these protests, they would start dropping more bodies than they already were. I promise you. If they would unalive a white woman in broad daylight and a white man in broad daylight, and that's just 2 incidents, right? Imagine if it was a front row of Black folks, how many bodies would have been dropping then? And if they were going to take more, if Black people were in the front lines like y'all wanted them to be, and they were in the front lines and they would have took them bodies out, you don't think them white folks right behind them would have got clipped too? The Mexican folks behind them would have got clipped too? The Asian folks would have got clipped too? When they see Black skin, white people who hate people see red. When they see Black people, when they see Black skin, they see red. It's like a bull seeing a red flag. They just want to just shoot. So Black skin not being on the forefront of these movements right now is saving lives. Rest in peace, Alex Preddy. Rest in peace, Renee Good. And rest in peace, Keith Porter Jr. But my God, today, if Black bodies were in these front lines, way more bodies would have been dropping. I guarantee it.
I think I might have a problem because certain things just hit me different. I got on here months ago and I said, Black people stay out of these ICE protests. As protests have ramped up, as bodies have begun to pile up, the entitlement and privilege of other groups of people, as it pertains to Black people putting their bodies on the line, has begun to show itself. And I keep thinking, wow, imagine for a second the entitlement, the privilege, and quite frankly, the disconnect and the dissonance of people. Because I think Blackness has a weight to it. And for a while, I always wondered what that weight was. And that weight is memory and it is history. The history that this current administration is trying to take away from people. And here's why. Imagine telling the group of people who have been in this country before this country had a name, were the dead last ones to get rights in this country, have been disenfranchised, brutalized, victimized by this country before they even have rights, are the reason some people in this country and other people across the world have rights. Same group of people who fought, died, were tortured, beaten, lynched, hung, all these different things. Imagine telling the people and expecting the people who fought, died, went to prison, had to flee the country, all these things. Imagine telling those people, hey, why aren't you fighting? Where are you in this issue? When the National Guard is going into predominantly Black neighborhoods right now, when police show up alongside ICE, knowing the history that Black people have with the police in this country, that again had slavery, genocide, institutionalized racism. Imagine the expectation and the entitlement. And quite frankly, the psychosis behind the frustration when we say no. Imagine going to the polls and voting for this, knowing that most Black people did not vote for this, and you want us to clean up the mess that you made. And I'm not even trying to get political, but that's just the concurrence of facts of the events. Imagine how crazy this looks for us. I need people to understand it's not that we are for these things happening to anyone. Y'all are. We are 14% of this country's population. I need you to really understand that we are 14% of the population. Most of you, in some way, shape, or form, wanted this. You voted for this. You did all the things that you could for this to happen to people. And now there seems to be no compunction with the powers that be for them to do these things to you. It just so happens that you probably always expected this to happen to us. And now it's not. So no, we're not doing it. We'll be coming out on the other end of it, though, victorious. Have a good day.
Yes, I shot another person. Border Patrol shot another person. Yeah, we know. But do not take your Black ass outside. You want to know why? Because they've been shooting us for a long time. See, it was supposed to be us. This is why whenever you ask for reparations or a anti-Black hate crime bill, they always say, oh, stop complaining. We have to help the other groups first. Just be patient. It's not the oppression Olympics whenever you ask for stuff, right? Because it's supposed to be you. If they actually pass laws to protect you from the cops and Border Patrol and ICE and everybody else, then guess what? They would actually lock up cops, but they don't want to do that. They would rather label white people domestic terrorists than actually solve that shit, because that shit is intended to terrorize foundational Black Americans. So we are still not going outside. Y'all handle your own business and hold your own nuts.
Black people are saving everyone by staying home. That's right. The ICE protests, we are saving your asses by not being there. White people, Latino people, even though, yes, they're still targeting you. Asian people. Anybody who is non-Black right now has a better chance of surviving an ICE protest because Black folks aren't there in large numbers. And before anybody gets in their feelings, relax. This is love. This is strategy. This is chess, not checkers. Because, let's be honest, Trump ICE, this whole administration, they are real-life racists, not theoretical, not academic. They've already shown us the tape. They will watch black people show up peacefully, singing gospel hymns, holding hands, praying, marching like we're in a damn church revival, and go, yup, riot, tear gas, deploy everything, not because we broke anything, not because we burned anything, not because we looted a target, simply because we showed up. And let me be very clear, you do not want what they do to us to happen to you. That's why you're acting surprised right now, because what they did to us actually happened to you, and you don't like it very much. ICE protests have been going on for months. Black people collectively looked at the situation and said, you know what? We want y'all to succeed, and don't insult us by thinking we're not smart. We are elite-level geniuses when it comes to surviving oppression. This country trained us like Navy SEALs in racism. Police have been fascist to us for decades. When we protested on camera, pew-pewing and chokeholding, we were told we were doing too much. When we said defund the police, y'all said, now hold on, let's be reasonable. But now defund ICE makes sense. Funny how that works. When we asked to end qualified immunity, we were told cops have hard jobs and split-second decisions. Cool, so do pilots. They still get consequences when they crash the plane. So, no, we're not showing up. Not because we don't care, but because we do. We're still voting, by the way, at higher percentages than you. So stop asking us to show up and get beat, gassed, and shot so you can feel brave for the weekend. We deserve a break, strategically and literally, because when black people show up, the batons come out, the gas comes out, the bullets get real.
Why aren't black people showing up to the masses to these demonstrations? Why aren't we marching? Why aren't we chanting? Why aren't we screaming, this system is corrupt just like everybody else? I'm going to tell you why. Because when it was us, nobody cared. When black people were being harassed, when our constitutional rights were being violated, when black people were getting killed by the police on camera, y'all didn't protest with us. Y'all didn't believe us. Y'all didn't call the system corrupt. You asked for a backstory. You wanted to know what we did to deserve it. You couldn't just accept the truth that this was an unjust system targeting us because of our skin color. But now that ICE is involved, now that it's affecting you, now all of a sudden the government is evil. Now the system is broken. Now everybody wants to march. Where was this energy when we told y'all this years ago? We've been telling y'all that the system was crooked. We've been telling y'all that law enforcement abuses power. We've been telling y'all that the government does not protect everyone equally. But you didn't want to hear it because believing us would have meant questioning the same system that you trusted, the same system that benefited you, the same system that you defended while it was destroying us. So don't ask why Black people aren't rushing to the front lines now. Some of us are tired. Some of us know how this story ends. Same people you're calling corrupt today are the same people we warned you about. But y'all didn't believe us then, so don't be shocked when we're not shocked now.
Good afternoon. I just had a live, y'all, and I just had a epiphany. Um, those arrests was, in my opinion, the Democrats trying to get us out. They're trying to get our votes back. So we're going to use Don Lemon because he's with the rainbow. We're going to use a black woman because they know how we act behind us. See, I'm going to tell us, mind our business. Because if y'all get tied up in their business, we not coming. I'm telling you, we not coming. If it's not about us, okay? Listen to me what I'm telling y'all. If it's not about our issues, our problems, we not coming. We telling y'all to stay out their business. You go out there saying you're a journalist. You go out there saying I feel bad. Cool. We all feel bad. But guess what we're going to do? We're going to get a word of encouragement on these platforms for you. We're going to root for you like y'all root for us. So I just realized that y'all want us out there so bad because the universe need Black America out there. That's what I just realized. Any other race don't see it now, something is wrong. For the people that get into these people business and you have never worried about your own, you're not getting nothing from us. We've been crying and asking and begging and asking people to see out of our lens of what this is and what's going on. Now y'all seeing it and y'all won't help. Nobody helped us. So to those 4 Black journalists, independent journalists, you had no business there. And Black America is not doing anything about it. Have a great day.
I have something else to say. Y'all are so adamant on trying to get on good Beyonce's internet and guilt trip Black folks into joining on the front lines. We told y'all up, down, left, right. We put the thing, then flipped it and reversed it for y'all. The thing is, y'all don't realize that if we actually did this, that would entice martial law. So, like, Black folks sitting back and giving the people who should be responsible for spearheading this the opportunity to do it is actually postponing our president's agenda to enact martial law. So, the longer that we actually stay out of this, the longer y'all have. We're buying you guys time to actually get something on the ground, right? I saw another creator, I cannot remember. I was just scrolling on the FYP and they were basically saying that, like, when we organize, Black folks, when we organize, it's to cause an inconvenience to a system in which is not benefiting us. You guys are going out here and blow up dinosaur outfits and balloons. You're not inconveniencing them folks. You know how we did it? We went and sat in white diners and demanded to be service. That was inconveniencing to the white folks in those diners who did not believe we were supposed to be in there. We went and sat at the top of buses because we wasn't supposed to sit there and demanded it to be serviced because what is it going to do? Inconvenience the bus driver and force everybody off these buses with the intention to get arrested. You need to overload the system, right? So that so many of y'all go to jail that the Supreme Court there has no choice but to take the case on. And that is how you get systematic change through resistance. Black folks getting out in the line right now is literally the one thing that this administration is looking forward to enact martial law and then to actually be the Gustabos that y'all are claiming them to be. They're actually really not Gustabos actually at all. In my opinion, they kind of give off more of slave catchers but you know what happened to those non-melanated folks who assisted in the Underground Railroad? They were persecuted or punished or harmed by slave catchers. This is not the Gustavo. This is America's history coming back because a lot of y'all don't feel like y'all are inheriting some of the traits of your ancestors, even though racism is inherited, just like the trauma and effects of racism on Black folks was inherited by current living descendants of slaves. So if Johnny had 2 apples.
And this is the reason why we said we stay in our at home. We're chilling. This is not our fight. We don't have shit to do with this. This is why. Because it wasn't ever supposed to be anybody else but us. But see, we listened, and we set our eye down and said, no, we're not coming out. And this is why. Because right now, all they're doing is just waiting it out. They want it to go back to what they call normal. Because us being brutalized in the streets, in the street, was normal to them. And this is the reason why I will not be tricked into fake ass solidarity like some of you Black folks on this app have been tricked into fake ass solidarity. It's not real. It's a facade. Because this is how they really feel. This is what they want. They want it to go back to not affecting them. They're just waiting it out. So we're going to wait it out. Because no matter how racist, how hateful y'all can still be, even though y'all see how much that is a detriment to your whole existence and you are still being this hateful and this racist, your reign is over.
This right here is major reason why you're not seeing any black folk on the streets protesting. Yeah, there are a few of them, but that's why you're not having majority of black people on the street protesting for, what is happening with the, passing of Rene God, this other guy that just passed, Alex Preggy or something. Since all these things have been happening, these guys have been quiet. All of a sudden, they're all on the streets protesting and not seeking for other people to come and join them, especially black people. This is one of the reasons. And for this lady to be writing this thing and saying, can we have, days where this used to happen? That means she has an ulterior motives. Instead of asking that it stops, she's asking that, can we have those days? Because those days doesn't affect them. They know who it affects. Anyway, guys, I have other clips I gather for you guys. I'm going to let them roll. Then I'll come back with more commentary. Kylie belongs to original creators of these videos. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's go watch.
So we were right. I knew I was right, but this just proves it. Can we just go back to regular police brutality, please? Can we just go back to when the white people weren't being murdered unjustly, please? What the fuck is regular police brutality? Even with the ICE situation and the mistreatment of people from ICE has killed people for years. Your outrage, and can we just go back to regular police brutality, came after Renee Good and Alex Preddy, who both happen to be white. That's what we're talking about. So when I pointed out they're killing our neighbors now was very weird, considering they've been killing your neighbors, but you just didn't consider us your neighbors because we didn't look like you. Police, ICE, federal agents, whatever you want to call them, have always been murdering people. This isn't new. But it seems to have caught your attention when the victims were white. So yes, be outraged, be upset at what's happening. But when you literally say, hey guys, stop killing the white folks and I will mind my business, you're proving a point.
Come there, let's meet there. And all of you need to be arming yourselves in one way or another, whether that's physically or mentally. You need to be ready. There is no talking to evil. There's no having conversations and figuring out things with evil people. And I know you guys don't want to think about fellow people as evil. But guys, villains have always existed and they always will, unless we do something about them. And we all know that words will do nothing. Peaceful protest at this point should just be left to Black Americans. Sit on their couches while we are in the streets fucking things up like we should be. Because the buck stops here. I don't care if I'm the only fucking one. I'm going to do something about this myself because I have the means and it was gifted to me at birth. Because that's how this administration works. That's how this country works. I will be looked at with more compassion. I will be on the front lines while they're trying to talk this through with me because they think that we have some sort of kinship because we're white.
Peyton gets it. Shouts out to Peyton. His name is Peyton Vanes, Vanest. He gets it. He's literally doing a call to action for his fellow YT Americans saying, hey, meet me in DC this day, this time, come prepared. Black America is the only one that needs to be peacefully protesting at home from their couch because he knows that his skin color is a form of protection. So for everybody else to be telling us to get out there and fight against ICE for whatever reason, illegal immigration, knowing damn well that they would love for us to be out there to use us for target practice, is diabolical, especially when we have been at the forefront, our ancestors, our lineage, and us, because we've been protesting too, present, like in modern times, we've been at the forefront of every situation when it comes to injustice, especially as it pertains to law enforcement. So when, like, they do need to show up. I've been saying this from the beginning. Like, we don't need to, they need to show up. They need to get as mad as they did on January 6th. Period. Because I don't think that any of us needs to be risking our lives to go out there at this time. Now, if ever comes a point when we need to, then we will put boots to the ground. We know how. We've been doing it for centuries. But to see other Black people, other Black Americans in particular, calling us lazy, denigrating us, talking down on us because we as a collective are saying, hey, we're not going to go out there. This is not our fight. It's utterly diabolical. Spread love is to Brooklyn Way. Shouts out once again. Shouts out to Peyton Dennis because he got the he know what's going on. He gets it.
So there you go, y'all. It's going to be 4 years of repeating over and over and over. We're not going out in these streets. I guess that's how it's going to be. You would think after a year, it would have kind of died down by now. It's not dying down at all. It's not. But see, they're ramping up on these ICE raids. And I guess as long as that's going through the roof in the country, they're going to be begging for help. But oh well, I guess it's 4 years of letting them know nobody's coming out there. Not from our community. Mm-mm-mm. So, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and conclude. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for your support, your prayers. And I will see you. I got to set up my next live, so that'll be a little later. So I have to do orders in between. So, y'all have a wonderful afternoon. Shalom, family.